Hi guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. Firstly, I'd just like to thank you all for the support you're showing me over on Instagram. Obviously I post on there quite a lot, but I've gained quite a few followers recently, and I've had lots of comments and messages from you guys, so I really do appreciate it. And if you're not following already, make sure you do go and check it out. For today's video, I am going to be doing another board game review, which you guys seem to love. And in today, we are going to be looking at the Magical Beasts board game. It is from the Wizarding World collection. My board game was actually a recent gift during lockdown to help kind of keep me busy while we were all stuck inside. But I am aware that you can pick it up in lots of local shops, toy shops, online, places like Amazon. So it is really easy to pick up. The box itself has the usual Wizarding World packaging. It's white in colour with the usual Harry Potter logos and fonts. On the back, it's actually really detailed, and they've included quite a lot of information with everything you get in the box. Pictures on the back also include a really cute Hedwig in the top corner and images of everything that's included, so it clearly shows you what you've got. And here again is the front of the box with a really large Harry, so let's get into it. As I mentioned, it is really heavy, so I do expect there to be quite a lot in there. It did come in a plastic wrap, but I got rid of that so I could show you. Obviously, you've got the game board, but we'll come back to that in a minute. And you've seem to have got 4 different kind of same size cards, a couple of counters, the dice, and then the larger cards in front of there. Now in this video I am going to go through what every part is and how we can play it, but it's really nice presented and locked in this plastic seal. Starting with the dice, it's actually black in colour, has the usual numbers on, but it also has this P in a star font. I love it. It is glittery, so it's really cool. Now although it is a plastic material, this black backing does actually keep everything locked in place and keep it really clean, which is great. Obviously it's plastic, so it's not great for the environment, but it does look really good. To win this game, you have to be the first player to collect all 4 of the beast clue cards and identify which magical beast it is. So obviously you've got the different magical beasts and all their characteristics, and you have to decide which one wins. The back of the card is a simple blue, but they're really detailed in the images, and they're like a sturdy cardboard, so really thick and strong. So I do think this game will last for quite a while. Next, we move on to some of the beast clue cards. Now, there's 4 different sections, and we're going to start with the colour of the beast. Now, I do love these cards, but it's a little confusing. I don't understand why grey is spelled G-R-A-Y. If you could help me out, I'm not too sure why it's spelled like that, but you can see it's got the colour card and all the different ones. I do love a little bit of pride on the varied colours. But yeah, let me know in the comments why it's spelled G-R-A-Y for the colour clue cards that we have in this game. So these clue cards are the size cards, and I absolutely love these. These are my favourite clue cards just for the level of detail on them, and they're a really clear image. I don't think the video actually does them justice, but you can see that they're so clear. The pixies of the very small size is my favourite one, but they're the size clue cards. From my favourite clue cards probably onto the next ones, which are probably my least favourite. You just saw the level of detail that those cards had, but when we come onto the location clue cards, they're really quite simple. They're more of like a blue and grey tone. It does tell you the different parts of the world where you'll find the magical beast, but I just found them a little bit boring compared to the colourful images on the size cards. Apart from that though, like I said, it gives you the different locations. They're also this brown colour on the outside, so I just wasn't a fan. I prefer more colourful things, but I appreciate it does kind of fit in with the magical beast theme and the darker side of the Wizarding World. As I mentioned earlier, all the cards do slot into this plastic, which is great. So if you are travelling around or moving it, or if you've got younger kids who are playing it, they do slot in really good. The last set of clue cards is the class that it comes into. You can see again it sticks to the darker tone, although they're purple on the outside. And then obviously the number of crosses that you see on there represents each magical creature. These clues are the beast classification, so where they fall into, to help you try and win the different game. Much more colourful, and I do like the colour purple, so I was really happy with these. This Magical Beast game can be played for up to 4 players, so obviously we have 4 movers and 4 characters. We've got Hermione. The picture is on both sides, and on one side it does have the logo and branding on the back. But next up we then do have Ginny Weasley, who looks quite scary in this and also quite young. It is the same picture on both sides, as I mentioned. From Ginny we go on to Ron Weasley, who once again looks very stern. They all look like they're ready to win the board game. Finally we have Harry, who is brandishing his wand, ready to win the game. So 4 counters, ready for 4 players. With your character, you have to be the first player to collect all of the beast clue cards necessary to identify which magical beast it is. Now, going back to the dice, I did say earlier there was a P on it, and that stands for the passage space. We will come on to that when we look at the board, but you do, included in the set, have a really colourful and very, very easy instruction manual, which normally I know some people don't read, but there are quite a few little pieces of information that are useful in it. When opening up the board game, it is actually known as a hinged game board, so it has two plane surfaces, which is really, really cool. Basically, it means it flips over, and this is done during the game to help you win. You can see also the P signs that link up with the dice, but on the board you've got the 4 houses, you've got different magical locations, and again the images on this are so clear, it's really, really good and high quality. The Great Hall is probably the largest image on this side, and again the colour and the quality is just superb. What we have on this side is the Hogwarts interior, which includes obviously all the parts that are included in Hogwarts Castle, whilst on the other side of the board it's Hogwarts grounds, which is the exterior, so all different magical places outside of the castle. The rules do say that the youngest player, whoever you are playing with, gets to decide which surface you start on. I think personally, just because of the bright green colour, I would go for this side, which is the Hogwarts grounds side, just to start, but obviously it depends on who is the youngest player when you start the game. The favourite side on the exterior for me will definitely be Hagrid's hut. I just love, obviously, Hagrid the character, but it's one of the coolest places on the board, so that is one of my favourites. You can also see the different P signs which are linked to the dice that I mentioned earlier. Now obviously if you move your counter to land on the P side, which is the passage, you take the magical passage and you can flip the board to try and win some more cards. The more cards you collect, obviously the quicker you'll be able to hopefully identify which magical beast it is. To start the game, the youngest person chooses the side, and then you each roll the dice to see who gets the highest number. Whichever or whoever gets the highest number starts the game and you begin to play. Now, if you roll the P on the dice, which stands for the passage, you move your counter to a passage spot and flip the board. When it comes to your opponent's counters, if they're not on a passage sign themselves, they are not safe and you remove them from the board. You remove their counter, flip the board, and then you get the opportunity to place them wherever you want on the board. So you get to put them anywhere at all, and in addition to that, as well as flipping the board, moving the counters, you get to steal a clue card from any player whose mover was not on a passage space. Okay, you can only take one card and it must be from the top of the stack, which is a great, great move. I did really enjoy playing this game. It's really competitive, and I do think playing 4 people is better than 2, so the more people you can get involved, the better. Overall, I think the quality of this board game is really worth it. It's got some great images and it is really fun and competitive to play. I do think up to 4 players is better, so play with as many as possible, but I will be playing this again in the future and would definitely recommend this board game. Thank you for supporting and watching another one of my videos. Please hit the like button if you did, and make sure if you're not already that you are subscribed to my channel. Thanks again.